Hi students, welcome to Alphos e-learning chemistry classes for first year. The running chapter is stoichiometry and now we are in session number 11. In previous sessions we discussed about the stoichiometric calculations. That is nothing but the volume or weight or weight volume or mole like that different stoichiometric amount expression relations we discussed, and thereafter we also learned about the limiting agent and its role in forming the quantities of the products in stoichiometric equations, is it not? And now in case of gases, only the quantities or the amounts can be measured in volumes. Just you remember, my dear students. And thereafter, after studying the limiting agent, when we observe one of the reactant as the limiting agent, automatically all the remaining reactants are considered as the excess reagents, and thereby but the product quantity, that is in any chemical reaction the amount of the product formed will always depend only on the limiting agent. All we discussed and we solved some model numericals related to that. Clear? And now then we are entering into a new concept. It is nothing but the second topic of stoichiometry, that is nothing but the percentage composition and the empirical formula and molecular formula of the compounds. That is the topic what we are going to discuss from this session onwards. First, let us know what is percentage composition. Percentage composition, and then empirical formula. And you remember, just it is represented with EF, and molecular formula, it is represented with MF, just you remember. So these three we have to discuss in this session. And first, when we are discussing about the percentage composition, if we are thorough with this percentage composition topic, then simply you can apply this concept in getting these two. That's why you should have highest grip on this percentage composition. Dear students, just you follow and try to get the total concept related to percentage composition. First, let me define what is percentage composition. Percentage composition is nothing but the number of parts of a selected element, present in 100 parts of the compound. Again I am giving the number of parts of a selected element that present in 100 parts of the total compound. That is percentage composition. That means, say for example, let us consider H2O is there, H2O, and in case if they are asking for the percentage composition of oxygen, then how to get the percentage composition of oxygen? Just you remember the molecular weight of this H2O. What is molecular weight? It is nothing but 2 plus 16, that is equal to 18. And now we know, out of these 18 grams, in case if it is gram molecular weight, how many grams of oxygen present? 16 grams. But what is percentage composition? It is nothing but the number of parts of a selected element present in 100 parts of the compound, is it not? And now with that formula, with that definition, let us consider if 16 present in 18, 16 grams out of 18, in 100 how much present? Into 100. This is percentage composition of oxygen. Whatever you are getting, that is percentage composition of oxygen. And similarly, in case if they are asking for percentage composition of hydrogen, then how to get? I think now you are getting that. Simply hydrogen, 2 parts is present in 18 parts of water. Then percentage composition is nothing but in 100 parts how much is present. Now let us consider into 100. This is nothing but percentage composition of hydrogen. like this. Clear? And in any compound, the number of parts of the selected element present in 100 parts of the total compound is known as the percentage composition. And just you remember, instead of giving direct molecule, that is, instead of giving this, say for example in water they are asking percentage composition of oxygen, so directly we are going for molecular weight and then we are calculating the percentage. But this percentage can also be measured in other words, in other terms. That is nothing but, say for example, X element is present in AX4, for example. Just you observe, X element is present in AX4. Instead of giving the molecular weight all these, they are just giving like this: 2 grams of X is present in 40 grams of the compound. That is, here they are not giving the molecular weight, they are not providing any atomic weight, just what they are giving is the quantities of the element, that is the required element, and the quantity or the amount of the compound. So when it is, just from this you can, I think you can easily guess what is percentage of X. Here X grams, X is 2 grams, out of which how many grams? Out of 40 grams. Out of 40 grams of AX4, 2 grams X is present. What they are giving is the data. And then what is percentage? If X percentage composition is nothing but weight of that element, weight of element by weight of compound. Here not molecular weight, just you remember, this is simplest formula. The percentage composition of any element is nothing but the element, the weight of that element, the given weight of that element by the weight of the compound, when they are providing the data like this. And now with this one into 100, because it is percentage. Clear? And now with this one, how we are getting is 2 by 40 into 100. You will get the answer for this. And now by providing this, just you observe, actually in our competitive examination the model questions will be like this. By giving this X is 2 grams present in 40 grams of AX4. Now they are asking for percentage composition of A. Can you guess it? Can you guess it? Yes, you can, because even though A compound or A element weight is not directly given, when X is 2 grams out of 40 grams of AX4, if we are subtracting that X weight from this total weight, the remaining is nothing but the weight of A. Out of these 40 grams, when 2 grams X is present, how many grams of A is present? Automatically you can get it, 40 minus the 2, that is 38. So 38 of A present in 40. So percentage composition of A is 38 by 40 into 100. Like that you can calculate. That means directly they may give the molecule, and in that molecule they may ask the percentage, or in other manner they will provide the weight of any required element present in a particular weight of the compound, and they will ask the percentage composition. In other manner they will provide one element weight in a particular weight of the compound, and then they will ask the other element percentage composition. All these three. Clear? And with all these, first let us go for the formulae that are related to the percentage composition from different data. And now it is when the element weight and the compound weight, these two are given, how to measure that percentage composition. Just now we solved that question, and let me give the formula for that type of questions. Here it is, percentage composition. Percentage composition, just you remember, it is nothing but number of parts of an element present in 100 parts of the compound. 100 parts of the compound. That is percentage composition. Here we are having two different formulae. That is, one, percentage composition is equal to weight of the element. Weight of the element by weight of the compound into 100. This is the actual formula to measure the percentage composition of any element. Percentage composition of an element, if they are asking. Clear? And now, with the same, if they are providing the molecules, say for example CO2, in CO2 percentage composition of carbon is how much, like that, or in SO2 percentage composition of oxygen is how much, like that they may ask. Here they are not giving the weight of the element, just you observe, here they are giving weight of the element and weight of the compound, but in this case they are not providing the weights, just they are giving the molecules. They are giving the molecules and they are asking for the percentage composition of that particular element. Clear? In such a case, we have to apply the same principle, but we have to get that weights of the compound and weight of the element from the given data. Clear? And now let us consider the second formula. Here it is nothing but percentage composition of an element in a compound is equal to weight of the element. How we can get the weight of the element? Just you observe, in case of CO2, what is the weight of molecular weight of CO2? Molecular weight of CO2 is nothing but, already we know, in previous sessions we calculated that it is nothing but the sum of atomic weights of all the atoms present in the molecule. Here how many atoms present for carbon? One atom. What is the atomic weight? 12. So 12 is the weight of carbon. Again I am repeating, in this CO2 one atom is present, one atom atomic weight is 12, and thereby 1 into 12, 12 is the weight of carbon. In how much of the compound? The amount of the compound is nothing but molecular weight, because the total weight of CO2 is 12 plus 2 into 16, because oxygen atomic weight is 16 and 2 atoms present, so oxygen weight is 2 into 16, 32, 32 plus 12, that is 44 is the total weight of the compound. Is it not? And now when the 44 is the total weight of the compound, in that 44 how much weight of carbon is observed? 12. How we are getting it? It is nothing but atomic weight into number of atoms. Now here it is the formula, number of atoms of that element per molecule. In a molecule how many atoms of that element present into atomic weight by gram molecular weight of compound into 100. In this manner we are following the same formula, that is nothing but to get the percentage composition. We are following the same formula, weight of the element by weight of the compound. Here the weight of the element from the molecule we are getting like this, the number of atoms of that element. Say for example here in CO2 what we are considering is, let us consider percentage composition of carbon, and here what are the numerical values? Let us substitute that carbon. How many atoms in CO2? Only one atom. So 1 into, what is the atomic weight of carbon? Already we know it is 12. 12 by, what is the weight of compound? That weight, it is nothing but molecular weight. What is the gram molecular weight of CO2? It is 12 plus 16 into 2, 32. That is 12 plus 32 giving 44. So this is 12 by 44 into 100. And now in case in the same compound, if they are asking for percentage composition of oxygen, percentage composition of oxygen, then how to get it? Can you calculate? Try. And here in oxygen, first what we have to get? Weight of that element. Weight of that element is nothing but weight of oxygen here. And how to get? Number of atoms of that element. How many atoms of oxygen present? 2. 2 into what is atomic weight of that oxygen? Atomic weight of oxygen is 16. So 2 into 16 by, again molecular weight is 44. So 44 into 100. So this is the formula to calculate the percentage compositions. I think with this one you can solve some numericals related to this percentage composition. Clear? Let us solve 2-3 problems related to this. In case if they are providing, if they are asking, calculate the percentage composition of oxygen in sodium carbonate. Calculate the percentage composition of oxygen in sodium carbonate. First of all, we should write the formula for sodium carbonate, then only we can get the molecular weight. Is it not? And what is sodium carbonate formula? Problem 1 is calculate percentage composition of oxygen in sodium carbonate. Actually Sodium carbonate formula if you know, then you can answer this question. What is sodium carbonate formula? Sodium carbonate is Na2CO3. This is the formula. Clear? And now what they are asking? Percentage composition of oxygen. Now let us write the formula. What is percentage composition formula of element? Is equal to number of atoms of that element. Atoms of that element per molecule into atomic weight by gram molecular weight into 100. This is the formula. You should by heart. You should have thorough idea on this formula. Clear? And now what is that percentage composition of oxygen? How many atoms present? Na2CO3 is the molecular formula. In that molecular formula, how many oxygen atoms present? 3 oxygen atoms. So 3 into what is atomic weight of oxygen? It is 16 by gram molecular weight. We have to measure it. Na2CO3. This is it not? And Na, it is 2 atoms present. Each atom atomic weight is 23. That's why it is 46. And carbon is 1 into 12. It is 12. Oxygen is 3 into 16. That is 48. If we sum up this, it is 106. Clear? And now thereby 3 into 16 by 106 into 100. This is percentage composition of oxygen. Just it is nothing but the number of atoms of that element, that particular element for which they are asking for the percentage composition. The number of atoms of that element into atomic weight by gram molecular weight into 100. That will provide the percentage composition for the element. Clear? And now here one more logic. Sometimes they are asking the question related by giving a logical manner. The data will be given a logical manner. That is nothing but they will ask calculate problem 2. Very important. It is for your competitive examination. It is very important model. Just you observe problem 2. Very important model. Just you follow this. Note it down. It is measure the molecular weight of, here the molecular weight is given as minimum molecular weight. They are giving this word, not molecular weight. Just instead of molecular weight, they are giving a peculiar word that is nothing but minimum molecular weight. Measure the minimum molecular weight of a compound having sulfur 4% in it. This is the question what they are giving. Just they are giving the percentage of sulfur. They are giving the percentage of sulfur, but they are not giving the number of atoms. Just they are giving the percentage, but they are asking for the molecular weight, the minimum molecular weight. Are you following? They are giving percentage and they are asking for molecular weight. They haven't give the atomic weight, we know. They are asking for this, and the atomic weight of sulfur is nothing but 32. We know it. But this number of atoms they are not giving. Clear? And now how to find? Let us consider first of all from this formula, gram molecular weight is equal to number of atoms. Let me write simple formula. Number of atoms into atomic weight by number of atoms into atomic weight by percentage composition into 100. This is the formula what we are getting from the above. Is it not? From the above, this one we are getting this. Clear? But this molecular weight, gram molecular weight, is they are giving minimum molecular weight. This is the keyword what we have to learn. When they are providing the minimum molecular weight, I am repeating, when they are providing the minimum molecular weight, just you remember that minimum molecular weight refer that the number of atoms that can present in the molecule is equal to 1. Then that means simply we can say that any compound molecular weight with respect to an element which is of present only with one atom in that molecule is said to be the minimum molecular weight. A minimum molecular weight of this compound possesses only one sulfur atom. If it is more than one sulfur atom, it is not minimum molecular weight, because as we know, atom is not divisible. So minimum one atom should present in that compound. So when it is minimum one atom present, the molecular weight is minimum molecular weight. Clear? Are you clear with this one? Just you remember, forever you remember, because when they are providing the data simply by asking what will be the minimum molecular weight, sometimes they may not give that word minimum, just they may provide what is the molecular weight of the compound that possesses 4% sulfur in it or 10% sulfur, whatever it may be the percentage, if they are asking that such type of question. When by giving only percentage of the element, if they are asking for molecular weight, by default you remember it is minimum molecular weight. And when it is considered as minimum molecular weight, you remember the number of atoms of that element is 1. Are you clear with this concept? Now with that one we can calculate this. The molecular weight, minimum molecular weight is nothing but number of atoms is 1, atomic weight is 2 by 4, atomic weight is 32 for sulfur, 32 is the atomic weight by 4, what is 4? Percentage composition what they are giving into 100. Clear? So when it is 800 is the minimum molecular weight of that particular compound. That is the formula related to percentage composition. Different formula. They can provide the weight of the element and the weight of the compound. They will provide only the compound name and they will ask the percentage composition. And here by providing the percentage composition, they may ask for the molecular weights. And in such a case, just when we are providing, we are having the percentage composition and asked for molecular weight, then you remember it is nothing but the minimum molecular weight. Minimum molecular weight means the compound is having only one atom of that given element. That is the meaning of minimum molecular weight. Clear? That is about percentage composition, and in coming sessions also we are going to use this word and this term frequently, and here and there when we are using, we can learn something more about this percentage composition And now let us move to the next topic. It is nothing but empirical formula and molecular formula. Empirical formula and molecular formula. Empirical formula. It is nothing but EF. And molecular formula. Molecular formula. It is nothing but MF. Clear? Empirical formula and molecular formula. And first let us define this empirical formula. Just you follow. It is a simple concept. Just but makes you somewhat confused here and there. But if you are following, simply you can eliminate that confusion. That's why empirical formula, it is nothing but the simplest formula of the compound, the simplest formula of the compound that gives the simple ratio among, that is nothing but the simple ratio among the different elemental atoms present in the molecule. The best known example for this empirical formula, let me give. I think already you know about benzene. Benzene molecular formula, you know. What is benzene molecular formula? How you are writing benzene? It is nothing but C6H6. This is molecular formula. For that molecular formula, for benzene, empirical formula is written like this. Benzene empirical formula is the simplest ratio among these two. Both these two are 6 and 6 number, thereby it is 1:1 ratio. CH. This is the empirical formula of benzene. And let me give one more. Ethane, if you considered. Ethane. What is ethane? Ethane is C2H6 actually. Here what will be the simplest ratio? 2:6 means 1:3. The simplest ratio among carbon and hydrogen is 1:3. That's why ethane empirical formula is CH3. And in case if it is ethylene, or otherwise it is known as ethene. Ethene is IUPAC name, ethylene is common name. And this formula is C2H4. And now what will be the empirical formula? Empirical formula of ethylene is CH2. And now acetylene. Acetylene is the common name, and ethyne, as per your IUPAC, what you learned, IUPAC name, it is ethyne. Ethyne, it is represented as C2H2. Here ethyne empirical formula is again CH. Just to remember, empirical formula may be same for different compounds. Molecular formula will never be same for different compounds. Just you remember, molecular formula never be same, but empirical formula may be same. Here if you observe, benzene is CH, acetylene is also CH. Clear? And now let me make one question which may be of giving some sort of confusion to you. Water. You know what is molecular formula of water? Water molecular formula is H2O. And now they are asking what is empirical formula of water. Can you guess it? I think now you can guess, or you may get some odd confusion. Is it possible to have any empirical formula for this type of water molecules or CO2 molecule? As per your ideology, as per your idea, can you guess it? Water molecular formula is H2O. Is it possible to write empirical formula? Can you write it? Yes, we can write. Here, in case of water, which is molecular formula is H2O, the simplest ratio it exists. The simplest ratio is already existing in this molecular formula. We can't make it simple further. That's why it itself is empirical formula. Not only for this, any compound, say for example if it is CO2, it itself is carbon dioxide's molecular formula is CO2 and its empirical formula is also CO2. Say for example if it is given sodium carbonate Na2CO3, here this atom is only 1. So it is simplest ratio. Further simplification is not possible. So it itself is the molecular formula as well as it itself is the empirical formula. Clear? Altogether, empirical formula is nothing but the formula that indicates the simplest ratio among the elemental atoms that present in the given compound or in the given molecule. That is empirical formula. Clear? And now coming to molecular formula. Molecular formula is nothing but the representation or the formula of a compound that give the exact number of the exact or the actual number of atoms that present in the molecule. Empirical formula indicates the simplest ratio, but here it is not the ratio. How many, each element, how many atoms are present in the molecule, it itself indicates the molecular formula. Say for example, now let us write benzene. Benzene molecular formula, how we are writing? What is benzene? The compound which is having 6 carbon atoms and 6 hydrogen atoms, that is called benzene. That's why it's molecular. It indicates the actual number of these 2 atoms. Clear? That's why it is molecular formula. And now for ethane, again I am writing the same molecules. Ethane molecular formula, it is C2H6. That means if the compound is having 2 carbon atoms and 6 hydrogen atoms, the compound is known as ethane, and that is indicated here. So when we are indicating the actual number of each element atoms in the formula, then it is known as molecular formula. And now if it is ethene, molecular formula is C2H4. If it is ethyne, molecular formula is C2H2. And just you observe, empirical formula for these different compounds we observe, it is CH, and for this one also CH. Just you observe the difference. Both these 2 compounds are having the same empirical formula, but their molecular formula is different. Clear? That means from the empirical formula only we can't guess what is the compound, but when it is molecular formula we can easily guess what is the compound. Clear? And now with all this knowledge, now is there any relation between these 2? We have to think. Is there any relation between the empirical formula and molecular formula? Yes, there is. That relation is nothing but molecular formula is equal to, for any compound, molecular formula is equal to empirical formula taking n times. This is the relation. Now the question is, what is n? What is n? Just n is nothing but the gram molecular weight of the compound by empirical formula weight. This ratio is nothing but n. Just for your convenience sake, let me give. In case of benzene, that ratio is 6. That's why it becomes C6H6. And whereas in case of acetylene, that ratio is only 2. That's why it becomes C2H2. Like that, these 2 are empirical formula and molecular formula are related like this. Molecular formula is equal to empirical formula into taking n times. That n is nothing but the ratio of gram molecular weight by empirical formula weight. Clear? And now in next session we are going to discuss about the numerical part of this empirical formula, molecular formula, how to find the molecular formula when they are providing the empirical formula and molecular weights, or the molecular weight directly they may provide, indirectly they may provide. How to gather that data and how to calculate these, all we will discuss in the next session. Clear?